Welcome to Conversations with Lauren and Ali, where we bridge all things in the spiritual and human experience.
This is a space where raw honesty meets higher truth, where personal stories open doors to deeper self-awareness, and where the messy, magical journey of being human is honoured as a sacred path of awakening. So, take a breath, get cozy, and join us in today's conversation.
Hello, welcome to Conversations with Lauren and Ali, a podcast live. I'm just going to invite Ali to the conversation. Here she is.
Happy 11/11.
Yeah.
Well, in the Southern Hemisphere anyway.
That's it. Yeah, those in the US and other places are still on the 10th. Sorry about that. I know that we were going to do this on the Conversations with Lauren and Ali Instagram page, but I went to start the live, and it informed me that I couldn't
do it
because the account's still too small. So I didn't know that either. So we've had to switch over to here, obviously, but we'll just share it. We'll share it over there.
Yeah. So if you haven't liked that page, please go over and like the page, Conversations with Lauren and Ali.
Yeah, so we can build the account and actually stream from that account.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How's your day been?
Very slow. Because I'm feeling a lot of energy. I was really looking forward to actually having a conversation with you and even tapping into what everyone is feeling. If there are others here on the live as well, I would love to know, how are you feeling? I'm just feeling a lot of energy, a lot of codes. And I feel this, needing to move a little more slowly today.
Interesting. Yeah. I actually feel probably like I've just been wearing all the hats today, so definitely not slow.
The opposite. You've been carrying the opposite.
There we are again, the opposites. But that's how I've been feeling. I was just thinking about it before I got on here. I was like, wow, okay, switching into this mode now,
Yeah.
It's felt a bit like that.
Well, I have been feeling this energy quite a bit over the last week too, of kind of reconfiguring and reconciling within myself what, being productive looks like, or achieving, or, what is, how am I showing up in that way of doing versus the being? And there's something that's definitely shifting. So I know there's a little bit of that carriage coming through. But even today, I couldn't even switch on and focus into my work. Like, I've actually kind of had to put everything to the side. Yeah. And I'm struggling with that internally because it feels like I'm wasting the day. I'm not, doing this, getting this done, or it's bringing up a lot of emotion. But physically, when I went to do it, I felt kind of overcome by energy too. And I started to feel a little nauseous and a little lightheaded. And it was like, okay, stop. So, okay, I'm just going to be present.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily feel all connected to 11/11 energies. However, when I sat down to do this, it was very present to me that it feels like, and I don't know if this feels the way to you as well, but it feels like the veil is really thin. And there is this energy, that soul remembrance, the soul family. There's I feel like a lot of that present. A lot of people talk about that around Halloween or Samhain, but it feels like that today. That's just what I'm feeling.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's interesting. I definitely agree with what you said around, feeling the resistance to actually doing a lot of work, if you like, or, that feeling of, I should be doing, otherwise I'm wasting the day. I battle with that a lot, actually. And you're still in that transition period from being in a corporate job into, you know, running your own business and running your own show. And you get to rest when you want to, and you get to, you know, find your own workflow. And Tatiana's saying that she's feeling that too, Ali. So interesting.
Thank you.
I feel 11:11 too. For me, I haven't noticed so much today that the veil is thin, if you like. I always see it as, I see 11:11 as 4 pillars. I literally like the 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yes, yes.
And there's something about it, without diving too deep into it, because, you know, I've voiced this with you already, that I just have really not been diving too deep into the portals this year, and just sort of letting them be what they are without focusing too much energy on them. But yeah, I see the 4 pillars, and every year I see this, and it almost feels like today, the energy of today, it almost feels like a new year, if you like, what we would associate that feeling of the start of a new year. Like new foundations are being laid. The 4 new pillars are there, ready to be built upon. Yeah. So, you know, it's probably no coincidence that you're feeling that stuff coming up to the surface about restructuring, figuring out, you know, the restructure of what work looks like for you and what flow looks like for you.
That makes so much sense. Yeah, thank you. Because I actually feel the stability of the 4 as well. When you were talking about that, like I could feel the 4. And that's really interesting, because I was going through such a dismantling, and I still am. There's still a great part of this that's dismantling, but there's also some rebuilding beginning. So that's a great way to like, I can visualize that. Thank you for sharing that. And it does feel like something has shifted as we moved into November. Like for me, September and October were pretty hard going and heavy. And I did feel like I was walking through the mud and the shadow more than I was out of it.
Yeah.
But I do feel this sense of that starting to understand that the layers were being shared, or for me, I'm hearing dismantling a lot. And now there's that reconfiguration too, because I think a lot of us, like what I'm feeling collectively, as well as I'm like tuning in now, it's really interesting being on the live and feeling the collective at the same time. But I'm definitely feeling a lot of heart and nervous system. And if I also look at what I've been feeling personally and witnessing in my client sessions, because that's always a great reflector of what's coming, as we've often said, that we are learning how to be in this new foundational state. I don't know what you want to call it, but this new season, this new evolution that many of us have traversed a lot through the completion energy of this year. And it feels like also the wheels are starting to turn again. That's coming through a little bit, but I'm definitely feeling the heart. I don't know if anyone who's watching this, whether you're feeling a lot of that heart expansion, heart opening. There's definitely more that's available today. And I just want to say, because I don't want to like keep going on about this, but I'm just feeling that it's important to share. There is a message coming through around really allowing yourself to be seen as you, as your unique, multidimensional, multifaceted self. And that's what's blooming. It feels like it's blooming, like you've been shedding those layers. And now it's like stepping more into that with the support of this foundation, as you shared, Lauren, with the 11:11.
Yes. I love that. That's exactly what it feels like. The heart, definitely, the expansion, but I feel like there's a lot coming up around trusting ourselves as well. That's connected to the heart. So like you said, you know, allowing ourselves to be seen, but we sort of have to really forge that deep trust from the heart, you know, with the heart, in the heart, to allow ourselves to be seen.
which ties in, doesn't it, with the mind and subconscious plus nervous system, because immediately it's like what I was feeling with that too is the mind and the ego wants to know. It wants to know and understand and have everything labeled and boxed and like all in order, so that we know we feel safe in that control.
We're in control.
And that's what's shifting now, isn't it? That's the season that we're moving into, even as a collective, because we're moving from that mind to heart-centered to soul-led, which means our nervous system is calibrating to trust in that, to trust ourselves. Because I mean, there's even been moments I've been feeling in the last week, like I don't always trust myself. I don't always trust my channel.
Yeah. You should.
Yes. But it's interesting how you made me think of moments where I was in doubt of that, or whether I was questioning that. And so how subtle it can be as well when the subconscious is speaking,
yeah,
or creating that for us. But I really feel, in just us having this conversation, I feel the heart of the collective softening a little bit as well, and allowing that to flow through. And yeah, I think trust is key, and also belief. That's been coming through a lot as well. Self-belief,
yeah,
like having the belief in ourselves too. And that's part of that allowing. It's not even about necessarily being visible for other people. It's giving ourselves permission, isn't it? It's giving ourselves permission to be seen, like to see ourselves, or to be visible as who we are.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. And that's always a big one for light workers, isn't it? It feels like an ever evolving journey. You know, you think you've moved through the fear of being seen, but there's always another layer. There's always another level, you know. I had something on my mind earlier that was said to me this morning that I think also ties in with this. I was a guest on a podcast this morning. We recorded it this morning.
Yay.
Yeah, with beautiful Nikki Hugh, her name is. She has the Starseed Immersion podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we had chats before and after kind of thing outside of the recording, but she said something to me. You know, we were talking about the vibe of this whole year, and how it was a lot about coming back into the body, and, you know, maybe we feel like we haven't been as productive as we normally would be. You know, it's been a real time of creating the foundations and everything. She said something to me that really landed. She said that what had dropped in for her was around disciplining her spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that sounds like a really full credit to you, Nikki. This is not something I came up with. She shared this with me, but it really landed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I know discipline sounds like a strong word, but when you think about the deeper meaning of that, it's really about, maybe it's almost like training our spirituality to just be a part of our world. Like when you were talking about earlier, you know, feeling like, oh, I should be working, you know, but my body, I'm resisting it. I don't want to. Like you're getting that message of don't force it, that you're not supposed to be right now, you know. It's learning to work with our spirituality, our divinity, to let it flow through us and just be part of who we are. And I think that's, you know, plays a big part in the recalibration of the nervous system, the heart expansion, the learning to trust and believe in ourselves is this. I just found it really, really profound when she just dropped that into the conversation.
No, I love that. And I think it's an interesting way of connecting to discipline as well. Again, it's like shifting that frequency that maybe we have known what discipline is, and how that can bring a different balance. Because it's interesting as well that you made me just think of, in my community membership this month, we're walking with embodied sovereign expression, because it's taking this everything that we've been working over through death and rebirth, and now it's saying, okay, well, how do we embody this, and how do we bring this into like integration to action, and embodied expression. And so it is really about walking with all of this, all of the parts of you in every moment. And, you know, like even today, I guess what I'm feeling is maybe a little bit more of my own presence and my divinity that's sort of slowing me down and calling me to stillness, but trusting and honoring that. Like you said, you've been on the other end of the spectrum, probably where you are in the action and in the expression of doing, because that's what was calling you today, and equal, like allowing it to flow and to shift.
Yeah, that's it. But still with that greater vision of, like I said, of what 1111 just represents to me, just knowing that I'm doing what I'm doing. This is where I'm at. This is what, this is what I'm supposed to need to be doing today, whatever. It feels okay, even though I feel like I'm, like I said, wearing all the hats. It's still like I can just see those 4 pillars there. Like the foundations have been set throughout the year. It definitely feels lighter, like you said. The last months felt so dense and heavy, as lots of this year has felt for me anyway, and I know for you and a lot of people.
A lot of people,
But it's just like, no, I can see, out there that those 4 pillars are there, as if to say that the foundations are created. They're there. They're ready to be expanded upon.
And I think too that I say we, but maybe not everyone will agree with, or maybe you won't agree with me, but I also think there's less of a big fireworks explosion of like things happening, and it's more of this seamless happening in the moment, day to day. Like sometimes you're like, oh, you get a synchronicity or a confirmation. It's like, oh, I didn't even realize that happened. Or, just even how I'm feeling today, there's nothing that I could really put my finger on. There's nothing big that's happening, but I can just feel there's some subtle shifting happening. So I think too, the way we are experiencing activation, initiation, is a little different. I also feel like that is inviting us to also experience completion and ending with that same softness as well. But I think that as we're embodying it to the body, and the nervous system and the mind are working a little bit more with us each time to integrate to embodiment with more ease.
Yeah. It's like you said, it's almost as if we're being shown, aren't we, that this is how it gets to be, that there doesn't have to be fireworks and abrupt events and these really intense experiences all the time. It's happening. It's moving through us. It's part of who we are. And I think that shows that, we've moved into a different level, a different state, where we really have embodied so much. And that's the way that it gets to feel.
And inviting in that it gets to feel that way, because again, it's a permission piece, isn't it? Because are we waiting to be smacked around the face? Is that what we think has to happen?
Yeah.
Because we're creating that too, aren't we? I mean, this is taking that a little bit more deeply to, what do you want to create your experience with this to be? How do you want to engage with it, to receive it? Because it's occurring to me as well that my guides have been very clear about where my thoughts are, where my intention is, what are the words that I'm using to emphasize that, like to speak it into being. And then, like, of course, the feeling state, which is bringing the body in and really feeling into like the alignment of those 3 pillars, I suppose. And it's occurring to me that my intention is that there's a more easeful initiation, activation, or completion through my body, because I always felt it so physically. So I have been working on this intention and manifesting, creating, whatever you want to call it, the way that occurred. And it's just pinging for me at the moment, like today is happening because that's what I created that. Through my thoughts, my intention, my words, and my action and a feeling. So it's a reminder, isn't it, too, of, well, you know, this is what it is. The soul remembrance is remembering who we are, but it's remembering that we do have the power to choose more actively.
Yeah, and you're seeing it play out in real time, like today.
Yes.
You know, choosing the more easeful route, and it's happening. But you're being shown it because you're feeling those pings of resistance, like you said. You're like, whoa, shouldn't I be doing something? Or, you know, am I wasting my time? Am I wasting my day? But you're being shown, well, this is, you created this. Just
yeah
go with it.
Which is so funny, because I had this realization yesterday, that when I was talking to someone, and then as I was telling the story, I was realizing how what I was actually looking at and experiencing and seeing was the impact of what I was creating through my intention and my words and my feeling.
Wow.
But I was looking at my calendar and my work week, and I was thinking, oh, we're coming into a bit of a lean period compared to what it has been. But then when I was talking about that, it dropped into my field that, but you asked to have a bit more of a balance between work and play and life, because I was feeling like I was working 7 days a week there for such a long time. And because I'm in this season of creating what my business structure is and what my life looks like now as the boss.
Yeah.
I had set this intention for what that would look like. And then it was like, but this is what you asked for. Like, this is what, and this is what it feels like. And so then it was like to my body, oh, okay, so we need to calibrate to understand that this actually, it's possible to slow down and receive more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think this is how quick everything is manifesting. But sometimes we maybe miss it, or we forget, or because if I wasn't slowing down, if I wasn't being present, if I wasn't speaking about what was happening even, and inquiring, being curious with it, I would have reacted, panicked, and got myself back in the old loop and the old cycle. Whereas actually what I was able to do then was to further calibrate, to be able to hold that new intention and that new foundation, I guess, that's coming through.
Yeah. Wow. There's, and like you said, if you weren't present, if you didn't take the time to slow down, you just miss these things.
Yeah.
They just skim past, and you don't even, you don't notice that they've happened. And then you probably have to go through something again for it to come into your awareness. So, yeah.
Which is why that piece in the cycle too, when we're I don't know, death, rebirth, or ending, beginning, moving through subconscious loops, whatever you want to call it. But that's why that slowing down and pausing and resting in the integration piece of that is so key.
Yeah.
Because this is where you get to pick those things out and you take different action, so you break the loop.
Yeah.
So you see how instead, I mean, I know you get this, but it's like, this is just coming through me, so I'm going to roll with it. But they're kind of like emphasizing you go around. That's why you're going around. But when you stop and you see it and do just what I shared that I did, you actually start to create the spiral again.
Yeah.
And so I think that I've been saying this a lot to my clients. I'm sure they're getting really annoyed with me, but it's like, I'd love to have a magic wand and just, wish this away. But it's, the power is in the action that we take in the moment. It's in that choice point moment where we can keep going on that loop, or do we choose something differently and take ourselves out on the spiral? But if you're not present, if you're not in your presence, you're not moving a bit more slowly, taking that pause and taking the time to be curious with what's coming up, you do miss that, don't you?
You do. And that's why rest and, quiet time out is so important, especially in, this line of work. It's the spaciousness. We need the spaciousness, because we would miss things otherwise. We can be go, channel on 24/7, because it's exhausting. And it's not the way that it's supposed to, it's not the way that it's supposed to be, you know, where we're being shown that rest and recovery and downtime is part of the cycle as well. Sometimes it lasts months.
Yes.
You know, like I've been through that.
Yeah,
a
me
couple
too.
of times. Sometimes it's, you know, it feels like it's never ending, but it's part of the process. It's part of it. And I think the body has been really speaking up and wanting its voice to be heard in, you know, recent months too. I know particularly for me, it has. I've had lots of physical things coming up that, you know, for the last couple of months now, I sit and think about it until I got to a point last week where I just crashed and burned because I hadn't been listening to my body. But I'd had aches and pains and all sorts of things going on for a long time. And it's the body, you know, what we were speaking about earlier, the body is recalibrating, the nervous system is recalibrating to the idea of allowing spaciousness and slowing down. And, you know, like we also touched on earlier, walking, like letting our divinity walk with us and just be part of who we are, not okay, I've got to stop and connect now, you know. It's like, no, it's there, it's always there, it's always moving through us. We're always channeling. We don't have to, you know, we don't have to sit and tune in. Yeah, and I know the body is obviously probably trying to release density, release, you know, old programming, old stories, old energy from all the little crevices, you know, wherever the niggles and pains and inflammation or whatever it is cropping up for us, to create a more suitable environment, you know, to create more space for what wants to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I've been feeling that and seeing that myself personally and with clients as well. You know, we do so much energetically and with the emotional and the mental body, but the physical body is, and particularly because we're in this season of embodiment, it is needing to kind of clear out a little bit as well. And so I totally agree with that, because there's not even a lot that we have to do, but it's just to slow down and give the body space, rest, or, you know, if there's a niggle or something that's coming through, does it need some attention, or does it just need to kind of, like, it's just working to the surface is the way that I see it. It's just working to the surface to be released.
That's it. And I think we just are really being shown that we need to listen. We need to know, like, what the body's voice sounds like or feels like, or, you know, to really recognize when the body is speaking to us, instead of just thinking, oh God, I've got a sore ankle today, or whatever it is. It's not nothing. There's a reason. There's a purpose for that. It's the body speaking to us in some way.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Allowing us to hold more of the divinity. And allowing the body actually to return to what its original state, what it was meant to like. The body knows how to be. Like, we breathe, our heart beats without us doing anything.
Our brain works.
So it's like allowing ourselves to come back to more of the way that it was intended to work. And even maybe a little bit more enhancement or upgrading, if you like, of the neural pathways connected to the nervous system or connected to that survival system, because we're now understanding that so much more, that we can calibrate to that differently as well. You know, beginning to find that point of like, well, you know, just because I have a deadline for this particular job or this particular task, that doesn't mean that that's a life or death. It doesn't mean I need to switch on my high alert system and run at that level of hypervigilance or hyperreactivity. instead allow that to be an awareness of, oh, I got that deadline, but it's okay because I know what I need to do. It's not life or death, so we can stay in that neutral zone.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of reprogramming, I think. but I think it's possible, because I think that's what we're being invited to be more aware of as well, and be more present with. Because if you can switch into that curiosity or that discernment and bring yourself, like, self-regulate, and remain with the heart and the body, then you can actually navigate those experiences in life really differently. But it still needs to be obviously a reactive point, because of course, if there is a life or death situation, if you have to run across in front of a bus or something, you want to move. Yeah, I think there's this possibility to harmonize a lot more of that too.
Definitely.
I think that's why the bodies are speaking to us as well, not just from the embodiment of our divinity. Of course, that's a large part of it, stimulating that. But I think because we're ready to evolve in that way, evolve physically.
Yes, while still living in this world, you know, where we are governed by time, because, you know, we have to start work on time. We have to get the kids to school at a certain time. We have to get to, you know, appointments at a certain time. We're governed by time. So there's always this underlying sense of urgency, and you know, that's all we've ever known, and we still exist in a world that is like that. I think that's probably part of the reason why, you know, we try to create our own sort of sanctuary at home, I suppose, where we can feel like we've sort of stepped out of the chaos, or but it's like you said, everything, you know, from the mind to the body, all parts of us, the nervous system, are all readjusting to being in that state that we're meant to be in, while still having the human experience. And that's a big, when you think about it, that's a big job. That's a lot. I know I had a dose of kava. So it was from a naturopath. And I'm not sure if, like, it was like a tincture. So not the usual how you would drink it and it tastes like, you know, whatever the dose was, I had that. And it's not a high that you get from this. It was a complete relaxation of my entire body. I actually said to her, oh my God, this is how I'm meant to feel. I can't even describe it. Like I said, it's not a high. It was not a high at all. It was just this feeling that just took over. Every part of me felt relaxed, and, you know, you're still totally coherent and all of that kind of thing. We were at an event, and everybody was drinking and stuff, and I don't drink, so I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'll have a little shot of kava from the naturopath. But honestly, that showed me how I live. My body is in this constant and I don't even know it, because it feels normal to me.
Yeah, of course.
That I'm constantly in this, you know, I'm wired. I'm wired when I think I'm relaxed, or I feel like I'm relaxed. This was like, wow. That was the feeling that came over me. It was, this is how you're meant to feel. This feels good. Like, this feels just neutral. And anyway, just thought I'd just drop that in there.
Well, no, I think that's amazing, because what you're also highlighting too is that piece that we don't often know, how highly functioning we are in the reactive state of our nervous system. And there was a moment where you felt what the possibility could be, as well as how it is meant to be. But it's given you that taste, and now for you to also, like, continue to cultivate that, because you would be able to create that and cultivate that. So that's really interesting.
All right. Well, I suppose we should probably wrap it up here anyway. It's
Do you have any light codes? Do you have any light codes?
what you want me to share some?
Well, I'm just wondering, do you have any?
I always have light codes.
Because I wonder if we should leave a little sprinkling for the 11/11, because we don't normally do that. And I just feel like that would be a little bit fun. I don't know why. Maybe my inner child wants to hear some, do some. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's have a little conversation, a little back and forth, and just see if anyone picks up on,
On what it is.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gota kesha ne koto esana keshe no to semo shake hona te sona she koi ati aroko esane shaya.
Antakuraya, tukuraya, lakusto tukuraya na kutoko. Ti anto ko tukura iala ko tukuraya, taro kuro iya na tatata iya wukuro umbaraya.
Goya na eso takia na sho ya tikasa musakania hora ma se koshakia na kisa o la da te soboko o ya na kisa yashena.
Tukuraya lo ura umba takia no kura iala koto. Tara ia to tukura maro o shtatati ana. Hua ai a toto o na kotoko ia la o tukura ia na kotoko maya.
Kena shokoya isana nai shoko inaya isaneto ko o shami katakesi kotoko rekeshona isamosha isatikisha nanai isatosha.
I'm going to leave it there because that was so funny. I feel like you were kind of the mother energy there and I was more of the child, and you were just telling me just to lighten the fuck up and bring, stop being so Captain Serious and just bring the laughter, bring the lightness, Yeah, that's what I was getting out of that. But you were saying it it was coming through in a really fun-loving way.
Yeah, I felt like it was the star grandmother.
The grandmother, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was sort of being a bit sassy, like, well, yeah, I'm trying. That's what I felt like. I was saying, I'm trying to,
There was definitely a piece there about coming into the heart, and it was funny because I think it was connected to that nervous system piece you were just talking about.
I definitely think it was too.
And remembering how that feels and coming in.
Yeah.
But that was really fun. That was really fun.
Yes.
More joy. Yes. More joy. More joy. And I think this is the fun, we probably sound really serious right now, but we're not always as serious as this.
You should hear our WhatsApp conversation.
But I think that is a beautiful reminder and something beautiful to end on, because it's 111. It just ticked over 111 here. This is what this embodied divinity, the expression, the whole, have fun with it, be in joy, be in the pleasure of the moment and the experience. Don't look at the hardships so much or the challenges, and start to swing our vision, because that's the subconscious again as well, but swing our vision to gratitude, to the blessings, to the joy, and to all that we have within us, right?
Yep. That's what we're remembering.
And so it is.
My inner child is like, yeah, I get it.
Shut up.
Well, thank you for suggesting that. That was fun. That was
fun. It was good. It was good. And thank you to everyone that was participating live. Yeah. We appreciate you. I'm definitely been feeling you. And it feels like a big warm hug. That's the grandmotherly energy. I don't know. That's what's coming in for me today.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you everybody for being here, and
make sure if you're not following on Instagram, Conversations with Lauren and Ali, and also YouTube or Spotify, where we share our conversations, because we would love you to join the conversation with us too.
Yeah.
We should do one just in light language one time and see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. See who can understand
Mm-hmm.
what we're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. It's always fun. It's fun. I love doing that. I haven't done that in such a long time.
No, it brings back memories because that's kind of how we first connected, was in a co-channeling circle.
And we were told to have a conversation.
We were.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That was a lot.
Mm-hmm. We've always held the balance for each other. That's what it is too. Yeah. So we bring that, we hold that.
Yep. Excellent. All right.
Amazing. Happy 11/11 to everyone.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, you too.
Okay.
See you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you for joining us in this space of truth, reflection, and connection. If today's conversation stirred something within you, we invite you to sit with it, journal on it, or share it with someone who walks the path of self-awareness too.
These conversations are living transmissions, and we are so grateful to be on this journey with you. Until next time, remember your human experience is sacred and you are never walking alone.
With love, Lauren
and Ali.